Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video in which we are going to learn about anonymous or lambda function in Python programming. So guys, in Python, an anonymous or lambda function is a special type of function without the function name. So we use the lambda keyword instead of def, that is defined, to create a lambda function. So as you can see, this is the syntax. Previously we had used the def keyword in order to create the normal functions, but this time we are going to use the keyword that is lambda along with the arguments which are optional over here, and then followed by a colon, and then we have the expression. So this is one of the examples of the lambda function over here. We have the lambda keyword followed by the colon over here, and then we have the expression, that is we are printing the hello world string. And this entire function, that is the anonymous function, which is not having any name over here, is being assigned to a variable that is greet. And then this greet needs to be called, as you can see, call the lambda over here along with the open and close parenthesis. So when we have this line of code over here, this lambda function will be called and hello world will be printed on the screen. So guys, let us check this with the help of example over here. So what we will do is simply we will have the lambda keyword first of all, and then followed by a colon, and then let's say we want to print the name of this YouTube channel, that is Programming for Beginners, which you should definitely subscribe if you have not done so. So we have Programming for Beginners over here. So this is a lambda function or the anonymous function without having any name, and then let's say we assign it to a variable, and we can simply provide the variable name as str, and then we have the equal to operator over here. Now what we have to do is simply we need to call this str variable. So over here on the new line we will have str followed by open and close parenthesis, and this is the way that we call the anonymous function. So let me just save this file and try running this code now. So as you can see, Programming for Beginners is getting printed over here, and this is one of the simple examples as far as anonymous function or lambda function is concerned in Python programming. Now guys, very important thing, what if you have certain arguments which you want to print? So this is kind of a static function which is having a fixed string that you want to print, but let's say you want to provide some string over here while calling the function. So in case, let's say we have this argument as this is a string that we want to print. So this str, that is the lambda function, is being called, but this value needs to be caught by this lambda function over here. So what we can simply do is we can take this argument after this lambda keyword. As we have seen in this syntax, after the lambda keyword we have the list of arguments that we can take and use them in the form of expressions over here. So what we will do is, let's say I provide lambda and then followed by x. So this x variable will have this value whatever we pass while we are calling this str function, that is the anonymous function. So this x we can use in our expression inside this lambda function. So let's say I provide a label over here, string passed, and then followed by colon, and then I have comma, and then followed by this x variable which is being passed. So this is a string, it is one of the arguments that we are passing to the lambda expression, and the x variable will be assigned this value and it will be printed by using this print statement. So let me just save this file and try running this code now. So as you can see, string passed, this label is getting printed, and then the value of x which was passed from this calling of the lambda function over here, that is this is a string, and the same thing is getting printed over here. So guys, this is the way that we can pass arguments or parameters to our lambda or anonymous functions over here. Now guys, there is another variation. Can we have the multiple arguments? Let's say we have two or more numbers for which we need to find the sum of those numbers. Can we find the sum of those numbers by using the lambda function? So let us quickly check this with the help of examples over here. So what we will do is, again we will define the lambda function over here. So we have lambda keyword, and this time we will take two numbers. So let's say the two numbers are stored in these variables, that is x and y, and then followed by a colon, and then what we can do is simply we can print the sum of these two numbers. So we put x plus y over here. So this is the expression, print x plus y, and over here in the lambda we have defined the two variables over here. Now what we can do is we can assign it to another variable. So let's say we have add underscore numbers as the variable name. So we have add underscore numbers and then lambda keyword followed by these two variables, that is x and y, and then print x plus y over here. So what we can simply do is we can call this add numbers and provide the two numbers that we want to add. So we just use this add numbers over here, and then let's say the two numbers that we provide is 10 and 20. So we are expecting the sum, that is 10 plus 20, to be displayed by using this expression over here. So let me just save this file and try running this code now. So as you can see, we are getting some syntax error. Lambda expression parameters cannot be parenthesized. So what we can do is we can simply remove these parentheses that we have provided. So when we are providing multiple arguments in the lambda function, we need not have to provide the parentheses. We can separate them using the commas over here. So let me just save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, 30 is getting displayed. We can format the string and have some label as well. So what we can do is we have the double quotes over here and we say sum of numbers and then colon and then comma x plus y. So let me just save this file and try running this code now. As you can see, sum of numbers, that is 30, is getting displayed. Another way that we can print the sum of these numbers is just by returning the sum of these numbers and printing them over here outside the lambda function. So while returning any of the expressions, we need not have to have the return keyword. We can simply have the expression over here. So as you can see, the two numbers were passed, that is 10 and 20. It will be taken by this lambda function in the form of x and y. X plus y will be computed and then it will be returned to this function which was called by using the add numbers. Now we can simply print this. So we can have the print function over here, and inside the print function we call the add numbers with these two numbers. Let's say this time we provide some other numbers, that is 100 and let's say 150. So the sum should be 100 plus 150, which should be 250 over here. Let me just save this file and try running this code now. So as you can see, 250 is getting printed. And again, we can have some labels over here in order to define exactly what this function is doing. So guys, practice on your own so that on different inputs you get different output. This lambda function becomes very important, which is also called anonymous function, when you don't want to define the function explicitly and you have very less number of operations to be carried out by using this anonymous function. So guys, please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is variable scope in Python programming. So stay tuned.